Should you buy insurance for your upcoming cruise? Find out why it's probably a good idea up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog, and I wanted to share today why investing in travel insurance after you book a cruise is a really good idea. Like all insurance, you're probably paying for a service you'll never use, but having insurance when something bad happens is so helpful, and these days, you really ought to consider getting it for your family. No one likes to think about it, but bad things can happen in your cruise, whether you get sick, hurt, or your trip is interrupted by a variety of scenarios. Having travel insurance prevents you from losing money due to unforeseen circumstances and travel emergencies, and insurance fees are typically just a small percentage of your vacation expenditures. In fact, it's really not as expensive as you might think. Let's begin with, what does travel insurance cover? It covers trip interruption service, in which maybe there's a giant problem with your ship, like a mechanical issue, in which your cruise is shortened or have to get off earlier than expected. There's trip cancellation, in which something at the last minute causes you to have to cancel your cruise, whether a health issue, you lost your job, someone is sick, right? And if you try to cancel a cruise without travel insurance in the last couple weeks or even days before you're sailing, you're really getting little to nothing back from the cruise line. There's also trip delay or misconnections, like if your airport is snowed in or your flight is canceled, and as a result, you miss the cruise, this kicks in. Medical expenses, baggage delays, if you have issues with your work, emergency evacuations, perhaps where you live, obviously, war, terrorism, these are all covered by typically travel insurance plans. Now, in addition, you have to figure out, well, does everyone in the group need insurance? And the answer is really going to depend on who you're traveling with, right? If you're a 20-something-year-old and you don't have any major medical issues, no history of things, odds are you probably are not going to need it, right? But ultimately, you have to make that decision for each individual person. And yes, you need to buy a policy for every single person who wants to be covered in the plan. So look at what your risk tolerance is personally, what you're looking to cover, the kind of scenarios, and then see if a travel insurance plan works for you. Now, it is really important to understand what travel insurance covers and what does not cover, because I would say this is the largest misconception about travel insurance out there. People assume that if you buy travel insurance, you are covered for any reason that can possibly come up, and that's not always the case. Classic examples that are not covered by travel insurance. The weather, that's right. If it rains during your cruise, that's not covered. If there is a hurricane, but your cruise still goes on, that is not covered. That's a really important one. Itinerary changes. You end up skipping a port for whatever reason, whether it's because of a hurricane, whether it's because of a mechanical issue, whether it's because of anything, but your cruise is still offered in the original amount of days that was promised. That is not covered by travel insurance. And you should know that travel insurance is a lot like auto insurance and other types of insurances, in which you can add a la carte policy additions and change it up to your personal needs, right? You can add cancel for any reason insurance, in which you can literally say, I don't want to go on this cruise anymore, and be entitled to some percentage of reimbursement. There's also airline accident coverage, car rental collision, medical coverage that goes on top of, in addition to, what your regular medical insurance is at home, and a variety of other options that are there as well. Now, you can get travel insurance through the cruise line. Royal Caribbean offers its own branded version of travel insurance, or you can go and get third-party travel insurance. There's a variety of options out there, just like homeowners insurance and car owners insurance. There's a ton of companies, ton of policies, and what you really want to look at is what the policy covers, what it doesn't cover, when it kicks in, and how easy it is to work with when you want to file a claim. You know, travel insurance are not all the same. And I think what really is important is, number one, read the policy. Make sure you are crystal clear on when it kicks in. Give them a scenario. Call them up and say, hey, look, here's scenario A, B, and C. Which of these is covered by this plan? And make sure that it's the right one for you. Don't just buy travel insurance to simply have travel insurance. You should also be aware that a lot of major credit cards these days include some form of travel insurance, whether it's car rental insurance or travel protection. You should understand that what you have already included, and then consider if there's an option for you to buy something in addition to it. There's a number of policies and companies that are out there. Some of the big ones are Allianz, Berkshire, CSA Travel Protection, TravelX, and AIG Travel Guard. In addition, there's also some websites out there that will aggregate quotes for you, make it a little bit easier. InsureMyTrip.com, QuoteRight.com, and SquareMouth.com are all ones we've heard of. And in addition, don't overlook the travel insurance options, perhaps that your travel agent can provide and quote for you as well. So there you have the most important things that you need to know about buying travel insurance for your cruise, and you might want to consider it for your next cruise vacation. Be sure to let us know in the comments below if you typically buy insurance or don't buy travel insurance, and why or why not. I can't wait to read all about them. Of course, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button below, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications so that way YouTube lets you know when we have a brand new video. This is Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.